Hey guys, Pansy here. In this video, I'm going to go over my AFK and passive incomes in BDO, which help supplement my active income. AFK and passive incomes are definitely useful to have because you can't always rely on active income because there's going to be days you don't feel like grinding or can't grind, busy IRL, whatever. So having AFK and passive incomes definitely helps out. Before we get started, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, which has a bunch of other guides you might find helpful. Also, drop a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Follow me on twitch.tv/I'mPansy. I stream every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern and on YouTube at the same time. I appreciate all the support. Let's get started. So my daily routine comprises of 4 primary tasks which generate passive and AFK income. I'm going to put them on the screen and go over them one by one. So the first method I want to talk about is farming. It's a great way to make money. It's very easy to set up, only takes a few days to have it going. You need 100 contribution points to invest, but it's definitely worth doing. It takes me about 10 minutes per day of active play to harvest or breed my crops, and it nets me approximately 50 million per day. My farming level is Master 2, and honestly you can make the same income at Artisan 1. My worker empire is a purely passive income and it nets me around 30 million per day. It's not an accurate estimate, but it is rounding down. You can make much more money utilizing the worker empire for processing and cooking or alchemy. So just make sure that you do start working on it as soon as possible because it does take a while to bring it into maturity because you need to get proper workers and you need a lot of CP. As for AFK fishing, I estimate I make about 15 million per day. This definitely can go up and down depending on my RNG, but as I'll go over later in this video, it's not about the fishing that really makes this shine. I combine it with another life skill in order to bring out the full potential of AFK fishing. Finally, on this chart is Imperial Cooking. This takes me about 20 minutes a day just to get my character there, do the Imperial Cooking, which is actually AFK, and to turn them in. I net about 65 million per day. I think this is a pretty accurate estimate because prices do fluctuate and I buy all my meals off the marketplace. I don't have the time to actually go gather and get all the materials to cook the meals myself, but it is a steady income. So in total, I make about 160 mil a day. This is fluctuating up and down, but I think it's pretty accurate. Per month, this is approximately 4.8 billion, and per year, this will calculate to over 57 billion. The reason I put the per year there is, guys, you need to start thinking in long term if you're going to be utilizing AFK methods. I know these are all tedious or annoying to set up, but once you have them going, and if you can keep your character online just doing these methods, in the long run, it will add up. So just keep it in mind. So let's assume you're a newer player and your stats are a lot lower than mine. Obviously someone who's at end game and has better life skills than myself makes much more money per day, but I try to take the easy approach and the lazy approach, and here's how you can start off as well. First, set up your farming. Getting Artisan 1 takes about 1 to 2 days if you have the right buffs, and it's very easy to do. You just need 100 contribution points and a little bit of silver to buy your initial crops. Once you have it set up, in 10 minutes per day you can make 50 million silver. Next, the worker empire. It takes a lot of time to set up properly. It takes a lot of CP to grow, and you need the right workers. You need to roll artisan workers and have professional goblins and all that stuff, so it takes time. But following my worker empire guide, you can actually start off quite easily and start making 10 million silver per day at least. So be sure to take a look at that. Next, for AFK fishing, it's really easy to level up as well. Just take some time, but eventually you can level it up and start making at least 10 mil per day. And if you see my following section on fishing, you'll understand how you can make even more money doing AFK fishing. Just take a look when you get there. Finally, for Imperial Cooking, you can make 30 million silver per day with just professional cooking. Getting professional takes less than an hour if you know what you're doing, and it's very easy to do. So be sure to try to get that, guys. Try to get your CP up because the amount of silver you get, it's really dependent on how much contribution points you have and how much mastery you have. So try to get a little bit of mastery if you can, but most importantly, get that contribution points up. It'll directly influence how much money you're making with your worker empire, and how much money you're making with Imperial Cooking. So with this setup, you can make 100 million silver per day approximately, and that nets you about 3 billion per month, which can translate to 36 billion per year. Now, once again, the per year is just to show you all of these do add up. So even though it's small tasks right now, they can add up to be much more later down the line. So just give it a shot, take it one step at a time, and soon you'll also be making passive income. Imperial Cooking is an excellent way to make some AFK income. To do it, you have to go to any Imperial Crafting Delivery NPC in any major city, speak to them, and go to Imperial Crafting, and you'll see all the boxes you can turn in. So starting from Apprentice Cooking, you can make about 10 mil per day just buying the food from the marketplace, putting them in a box, and handing them over. So it's definitely good to do. Professional Cooking Box will net you about 30 mil per day depending on your CP. More or less, and Guru can net you over 60 mil a day depending on your CP if you're just buying the items and turning them in. Now if you cook them yourself, obviously you'll make a lot more silver. So in order to perform Imperial Cooking, all you do is hit L, go to Imperial Cuisine, select the item you want to pack into a box, and press start. Make sure when you turn in these Imperial boxes, you have your mastery gear equipped. So at the moment I have 748 mastery in cooking. So let's see how much it nets me. I have 0 silver in my inventory and I have 1 box. Speak to the delivery manager and sell all. So we sold 1 box. That means we got 916k silver. Even though it says 800k is the base, having higher mastery increases the amount of silver we're getting from the box. So guys, remember that profit for Imperial Cooking directly depends on your contribution points and how much mastery you have. I'm going to link a spreadsheet down below in the description, which gives you the calculations for which meal is most profitable to either make or buy, or if you should use the proc version. Now, I'll read out some items just so that you have something immediately, and you can take a look at that sheet afterwards. For Apprentice, I recommend fruit juice or thick fruit juice. For Skilled, I recommend fruit vegetables or fresh fruit and vegetables. For Professional, I'd recommend pickled vegetables or sweet and sour pickled vegetables. For Artisan, spicy tough sandwich, but the amount of profit you're getting by buying this is less than that of pickled vegetables, so I'd recommend you go back to the Professional boxes. And you might wonder why Professional boxes are always selling out the quickest. That's why. So for Master, I recommend King of the Jungle Hamburg or Jumbo King of the Jungle Hamburg. Now, this is also very dependent on the supply because those tend to sell out. For Guru, depending on the prices, you can pick either Serendia meal, Valencia meal, Calphion, Balanos, or Medea meals. The prices are fluctuating a lot recently, and ever since they made the change to the Imperial Cooking seals, this has been a very volatile market. So they've recently changed how the golden seals work. Previously, we used to get this shiny golden seal, which isn't as good as it is now. The rewards are kind of mediocre, but now we have the golden seal, Imperial Cuisine. These give much better rewards. So you can pick and choose what you want to spend it on. There isn't any right or wrong answer, especially if you're using milk and eggs for actual cooking. You can pick those, or even you can get some easy Supreme cooking utensils out of this, which is very good. Those Supreme cooking utensils are absolutely clutch. So yeah, pick and choose what you want, and you can add this to your profit as well. AFK fishing is something that I was very slow to follow up on, but once I did it, I loved it because it's very low effort. I can just log in and start fishing. Every once in a while I'll repair, I'll turn in the fish, or just go to the storage, but it's very low effort and it's really reliable in that sense. But more importantly, the reason I'm talking about this today is there's ways you can combine it with other life skills to make it even more worthy of your time. For example, this character has gathering as well as fishing. So what I like to do is I park my character either at Heidel or Velia, and I'm able to go to a simple gathering spot very quickly to dump my energy. While my energy is regenning, I'm just fishing. So a good spot is Velia and the wolves, or even you can do Heidel and the sheep if you don't like the competition you're getting at wolves, but it's less money. Now, one thing to remember is you might not always be able to go gather. So Another reason why I like to stay in Valia and Heidel is that there's an alchemist nearby. So in Valia, the alchemist is Aliston, he's over here, and in Heidel, you can go to Alejandra Farm and also speak to the alchemist there. Then you can turn your energy into energy potions, like I have here. As you see, I have quite a few of them, and you can use them in a future date. Let me just show you where it is in Valia. So put your rod away, run over here, and Aliston is right around the corner. So this is really useful in case you're wasting your energy and you're not able to dump it in time. And it's just something to keep in mind if you're not actively gathering and using your energy for money. Now, I'm sure a lot of you don't actually waste your energy the way I do and don't need to make these energy potions, but it is good to keep in mind just in case. Now, we'll go over some other methods to regen your energy and to increase the amount of money you're making. First, Calm Blessing gives you +2 energy regen. That's excellent to have, and if you can afford it, definitely try to get a hold of it. Next, the Villa buff from your tent can give you another 1 energy regen, and also you have a base of 1 energy regen. If you don't want to fish, you can just get a residence and sleep in a bed. The cash shop bed gives you 2 energy regen, and if you're doing that, you don't need to be in Valia or Heidel. You can go to any of your favorite grinding spots and get a residence as close by as possible and do it. So the reason why I like to do this is it takes approximately 2 hours with all these buffs running to get 200 energy. Now, about every 2.5 hours, I'll go dump my energy if I'm AFK fishing during the day, and it takes me about 30 to 35 minutes to dump all 287 of my energy at sheep. Now it takes another 10 minutes to do it at the wolves, so it's a bit slower and a bit more time consuming, but if I have time, I will do it. So even with my gathering level and my low mastery level, I'm able to make about 55 mil per gathering session. So that's pretty good for what I do, and it's really easy to do. So technically every 3 hours I can make about 55 mil from gathering, and I'm also making about 5 mil-ish from fishing. That's purely based on RNG, but you know, this is something that has a very low turnaround time. It only takes about 3.5 hours to get most of my energy back and then go dump the energy with the gathering. That I can do about 4 times a day if I'm feeling it, but I hate gathering, so it's more likely I do it once or twice a day. You guys who are better at gathering than me can do it much quicker. You know, this is actually something that can go from being an AFK moneymaker to an active moneymaker, which will make you 200, 300 mil a day with even low level gathering and mastery. So yeah, do explore it. But I just wanted to show you guys my AFK fishing and the reason why I'm doing it and how I'm applying it to another life skill to make some active income. In hindsight, I decided to add a little overview on my actual AFK fishing. So here it is. For a rod, I use a +10 Balanose rod for the -25% auto fishing. And I also combine that with the auto fishing of my tier 3 otter, which is a pretty good combination. For my accessories, I just got Trilogias, and for my clothes, I got Trilogia clothes as well. With all of this and my guild buffs, I have 5 fishing, and yeah, that's pretty much it for my equipment. For my buffs, I use Turing Gates at all times to increase my energy regen. Also, I have an Ariaza meal for the extra auto fishing. But yeah, I think that's about it for my setup. It's nothing great, but it definitely gets the job done. So just try to get what you can. You don't even need mastery gear for fishing per se, but it will greatly increase your income. So when you're starting out, do what you can and slowly upgrade as you go along. So now for the worker empire section. So I'm not going into details with this at all. The only reason I'm including this is because in the previous section for fishing, the concept of the energy regen and everything applies to this as well. So it's actually a really good option to AFK fish in a town where you want to roll workers or just AFK in a bed. So I just want to put this section in here to remind you guys, start working on your worker empire as soon as possible. It does take time to build up, And once it's done, it's there, it's good. So it'll constantly net you silver and is definitely worthy of the effort. For example, here in Valencia, I know the current marketplace asset value is completely off because I have almost 300 million worth of items here. But you know, this is all passive. Once I set it up, this is just free money afterwards. Exception to the grilled bird meat I'm feeding my workers. But yeah, if you want to have some passive money making while you're waiting for your energy to regen, AFK fishing is definitely good. Processing, even horse training to a certain extent is all good options. So play around with it and try to figure out what works for you. Get on making your worker empire as soon as possible. In the long run, you'll be thankful for it, especially if you're getting into other life skills like alchemy, cooking, and processing. So I've covered farming and how to do it in a previous video, which I'll link in the description below. There's two things I wanted to point out this time around. Number one being there's a spreadsheet which can help you calculate which is the most profitable crop to use. Me personally, I do magic hump mushroom. It's not the most profitable according to that sheet, but it works for me because it has a fast growth cycle. I'm at home all day, so I can hit those farm runs quite accurately, and I usually get 4 to 5 in per day, which is why I get over 50 million silver per day. You can definitely get a lot more depending on the crop. So take a look at that sheet and see if it helps you. Also, the concept of energy regen I covered in the previous section of fishing. It also applies here. You can do the same thing here. You can use your farming character to go fishing because Valia is right over there. If you put your farm here, you can just run down there and AFK fish. So there's a lot of things you can do, mix and match, and do what works for you. My current setup is the way it is because my AFK fisher actually goes and gathers. So farming also consumes energy, so that's why I like to keep my gathering on a separate character, but it's 100% viable. Now, the only thing is you're pretty much bound to staying close to your farms. So that's why you got to pick and choose for yourself on what's most convenient for you and go by that. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you. If it did, please do subscribe on YouTube, like, comment, and hit the bell icon. Follow me on twitch.tv/Pansy. Join us for our stream. And yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you have any useful tips you want to share with everyone else. And I'll catch you guys next time.